here is Stevie from touchforharcourt.com. I actually feel the sense of responsibility to respond to this because it's an issue that affects those that fall within my age demographics. I was particularly impressed when Governor Shimole was speaking because he was using some of the words I and my friends were using just a few days ago. I and two of my friends who are also here. We are discussing the whole issue of creation of jobs, unemployment, and using River State in particular as an example. And we specifically spent some time analyzing and talking about the entire Trans-Amadi axis. I live around Trans-Amadi in Odili Road, and each time I pass there, I feel heartbroken because I see a lot of potentials, I see a lot of opportunities lying waste and lying bare. A lot of industries, and most times when we talk about things like this, we talk about banks, we talk about loans, we talk about some of these things. Some of those things seem like rocket science. We could look at easy things like manufacturing. It can create a whole lot of jobs. I know the richest Chinese man in Nigeria, what he does is import bathroom slippers. And in every household in Nigeria, you must find at least one. So imagine if we have something like that in Nigeria, or we have something like that in River State, and we have, let's say, 5 industries focused on different things, what could possibly happen? So sometimes we cannot wait to rely on when government says all of this job employment process or skills acquisition. Skills acquisition is not a means of pulling somebody out of unemployment. I am from Ogoni, and I also want to look at if there's a global campaign going on now that says do agri. And if we look at the Ogoni axis, one of the easiest things we could do to avoid young people moving from that area into the urban city is to create job opportunities within what they have there. So if we're looking at Ogoni, Ogoni has a massive land at their disposal. And I must give it to the governor of Rivers State what he did in the area of agriculture, but I'm also not very satisfied with that in the sense of that project is not enough to create the kind of employment that is needed in that axis. Because if I am a young person and I want to go into agri, for example, the only opportunity left for me with what is there is to go be a laborer on that farm. And so what happens if I want to be an entrepreneur in the area of agri? How do I go about that? In fact, in some of the villages there might not even be roads out of that place. How do I get my fresh fruits? How do I get some of my fresh produce out of that place to the urban city to be able to market and get access to those who will consume some of these things? So I think in the area of talking about job employment and all of this, we need to be very strategic in some of the policy instruments that we use, just like Governor Shomoli said. Thank you very much.